Hi everyone, I am Aditya and welcome back. I am in Munich. Currently I am going to the U-Bahn station to go to the railway station and get a train to Füssen. My original plan was to catch a train from Munich to Füssen at 7 a.m. Since I woke up early and I got ready, I have a train at 7:39, but I had to change two trains and I will reach half an hour earlier. From there I have to catch a shuttle bus and go to the base of Neuschwanstein Castle. From the base of the castle you have to hike to go to the castle. If you are going inside the castle, you need to book advance because tickets are not available so easily, and I did not get it. There are two castles and there is a very amazing story about this castle. I'm gonna tell once I reach the place. Once I finish the castles, I'll come back to Munich. I'll meet up with my friend. He's not coming today, so I'll meet my friend in the railway station where I will give my room key to him, and then from there directly I will catch a train to Stuttgart. Let's go to this beautiful castle.
The train journey from Munich was short. Since I started pretty early in the morning, I had easily got a place to sit. The journey to Füssen was nice as the train passed through various small villages. As I moved towards Füssen, I could see the clouds turning dark and the temperature dropping. As soon as you reach Füssen, you can step out of the railway station and there is a bus stand right in front. If you have any doubts, just follow the crowd as most of the people would be going to the castle. Soon when the bus journey ends, you can see the glimpse of the beautiful castle.
It's 10 a.m. and I reached the place where we have to start climbing for the castle. The shuttle bus just took around 8 minutes. It will be too crowded because everyone who has got down from the train, they will be aiming for the same bus. So it will be too crowded, and anyway it's just 10 minutes away from the railway station. So currently I am heading towards the castle. There are two castles. First I'll be going to Neuschwanstein Castle, then I'll be heading to the other one. For the Hohenschwangau Castle you have to go this side, and for the Neuschwanstein you have to go this side, and there is an option to go via bus or via these horse carriages to the castle. If you have to go to bus, again you have to go this way, and if it's a horse carriage you have to take it from here, and if you're walking you can just follow this path. And everywhere the boards are there. You have to purchase the tickets in the counter before you start your journey. So both the castles can be seen from here, although right now it is covered with fog or cloud. Castle was constructed by the King Ludwig II. There are three castles in this area. One of the castles was in ruins, so King Ludwig's father, he constructed this, whatever we just now saw, the Hohenheim Castle. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. King Ludwig was born there and he spent his childhood days in that castle. There are two other castles which were overlooking this Hohenheim Castle. So the king in his earlier days, he came to this place as an excursion and he actually painted it in his diary. So when the king came to the power, he demolished the ruins of the existing castle and then he ordered the construction of this. The king was a very devout art, music, literature. He had lot of interest in that. He actually dedicated this castle to Richard Wagner. He is a musician.
After hiking through the woods for about 30 minutes, you will reach the first viewpoint of the castle. Nearby, there is a counter to check the timings to visit the castle with your ticket number. King Ludwig constructed the castle from his private budget and not from the public funds. Over the years, King wanted more and more features and the expense kept increasing, and hence the king started taking loans.
Once you're hiking up the road to the castle, you will find this place where you can come here and take a photo of the castle. It will be pretty crowded, so what you have to do is you have to stand in line so that after one person takes the photo, immediately you can go in. And there is a big cliff over there with some water flowing, and on this side we have the view of this whole valley and the two lakes.
The construction of the castle began in 1868 and it was originally designed to have more than 200 rooms. King Ludwig moved into his new castle in 1886. By this time, only 15 of the rooms were finished and the construction cost had increased by 5 times the initial estimate. In June, The Bavarian government decided to depose the king who was living at the castle at the time and was forced to leave the palace. On 13 June, he died under mysterious circumstances in the shallow shore water of Lake Starnberg. His death remains a mystery until this day. Many people think he committed suicide and others think it was a murder. 2 months after his death, the castle was opened up to public by the regent who took over the reins of king, and it quickly became one of the world's famous castle.
To go inside the castle you have to go that way, and that is where they will check your entrance ticket and you will be exiting from here. Currently I am going towards the Mary Bridge. That is where you will get the best views of the castle. So that there is the second castle. So once we finish this, we will be going there. That was the place where the king grew up, and that is where he spent his childhood.
The hike from the castle to Marienbrücke is probably the most crowded than the castle itself. On the way, you will get the glimpse of both the castle and both the lakes. Since the weather was cold, the hike was amazing.
So if you had purchased tickets for bus, this is where it will drop you, and then you have to get down from here and go towards the palace or towards the bridge.
From the bus stand is just 5 minutes walk to the famous bridge. Maria Bridge is a steel bridge next to the castle. The bridge was first constructed from the wood in 1845 by King Maximilian II of Bavaria and named after his wife, who was an avid hiker. The couple's son later rebuilt the bridge out of steel in 1866.
The planks actually shake when you walk on it, and it gives you that scary feeling because there is nothing below and you are just held by this wooden plank. And the view from here is absolutely fantastic. If it was a sunny day, it would have been much more better. The views would have been much more good. But I can't complain because it's not too cloudy or not too foggy. So here there are some water streams flowing and there is a waterfall. I'm really afraid to stretch my hand because I have a camera with me. And here is the castle, and this side also we have another waterfall. From here you can even see both the lakes on either side and this castle in the middle. Now that I look closely over there, I don't know, I mean, it feels like the fort or the outer walls is attached to this mountain, like it's carved out of the mountain's rock. So yeah, it's really a wonderful architecture. That was the fantastic fairy tale view of the castle, and currently even I'm not sure where we are heading. I'm just following this path. It is actually showing 3 hours. Obviously I'm not gonna spend 3 hours time because I have to go to Munich and then to Stuttgart. Now I can't go, so I'll be going back towards this side. After crossing the bridge, either you can go back from where we came. This is the bus stand, and this route goes to the former hunting hut from King Ludwig II. Instead of going back in the same road to the castle and then back to the other castle, this is kind of like a shortcut, very steep and not paved. It's gonna be slippery, so you have to be very careful when you are going this way. The king constructed 3 more palaces. Out of 3 palaces, 2 were in a pending state and 1 was completed by the time king passed away. Because of his palace building mission, he went bankrupt. He got stripped of his title. He mysteriously died. There are a lot of factors which affected his decisions. Some people even say that he was a mad king. So what happened was, when the king started spending more and more money, his cabinet advised him not to do. So he didn't pay any attention to the councillors, and even he fired one of them. The cabinet then hatched a plan along with King's uncle. They took documents, they took reports from many of his servants and stated that he was shy of people, he had no table manners, he sometimes acts very furious, he abuses or strikes the servants. So lot of false reports they collected and they presented all this to the government, where the psychological team, like 12 people, they evaluated and they determined that King is insane. The fact that his brother, King's younger brother, was also insane, and they made the report such that the insanity is through hereditary, and they declared the king insane. As I told, it's a really interesting story. I have just briefed everything in one single paragraph or something. There is much more details mentioned in all the articles. Ironically, the castle which ruined so much people's lives and so much money is the one started making more money. Now it is like huge thing. So whenever someone comes to Germany, the first thing they want to check out is this castle.
After passing through a lot of souvenir shops, you will find a part to Hohenschwangau Castle. Here you have to walk, as there are no other options like horse carriage or bus ride which was available in Neuschwanstein Castle. Similar to other castle, you have to book online tickets for the guided tour, and photography is strictly prohibited inside.
Initially when it opened, the entry was allowed for the visitors after the king's death, but later the furniture and everything got damaged or degraded, so then they blocked the entrance for the visitors. There is even a museum here nearby to castle, museum of the Bavarian kings. So you can actually buy tickets for each individual one or a combo of all three. I mean, two castle and museum. So if you buy a combo, then it's gonna cost you less. If you buy individual, it's gonna cost you more. I came in that way, and if we go back in this way, we'll go to the main road. But I'm gonna go here. You can see it's like just 10 minutes for the lake, Alpsee Lake, and it's little bit steep. So anyway, I'm gonna go there and get some views. There's a lot to explore here. You can see it's 30 minutes for the Marian monument. You can follow this path. But right now I'm gonna go back and go to the bus stand, then railway station, because I'm gonna spend a lot of time in train now. Back to Munich, from Munich to Stuttgart. To go to Munich 2 trains and to go to Stuttgart 2 trains. So total of 4 trains, and 3.5 plus 2, 5.5. Close to 6 hours I'll be traveling now. That's why I'm leaving now back to the bus stand. But if you're coming from Munich, or if you have a lot of time in hand, there are a lot of things to do here instead of just going to the castle and to the lake. The water in the lake looks super blue, super clear, crystal clear. The castle is very enchanting. Now that I know the history of the castle, it looks more interesting, more attractive to me. This is the only thing I had in mind when I came to Germany. I have to visit this sometime, and finally I got a chance. Yeah, it was really beautiful, worth a visit definitely. This is the parking area, and even out there you can see a lot of empty places, and this is on a Sunday, so safe to say you will get a parking space. This is the museum which we saw from the viewpoint in the lake, beside the lake, and you can go around the lake. I can see the castle very clearly now. Maybe if we had gone to the bridge now, I guess the views would be much more clear. I think this is gonna be my last look of the castle. Now back to the bus stand.
In the next episode, I go to my third country in Europe, Italy. Italy is the 10th largest country in the continent and the 6th most populous country in Europe. On the first day of my Italy trip, I go to Venice. It is also known as Floating City and is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thank you for watching the video and stay tuned.